He's trying his best to squeeze this bitch. He's gonna try his best to squeeze this bitch. Yeah. Hey, oh, you're watching it too? Did you see what the AMC CEO said? He's like, a lot of my network is the CEO stock, is the stock. So he's gonna make that shit squeeze. He's gonna make that shit squeeze. He has to try his best.
There are more than 100 executives at AMC in the U.S. and Europe who are granted stock
to increase. You care about the shareholder value.
No, in fact, there are more than 100 executives. To grant that stock, we have to pay them more money in cash.
Right.
So there's an advantage to the company of paying compensation in stock rather than paying compensation in cash. But it has a much bigger value than just saving the company some cash. What this is doing, when we compensate our executive team in stock, we're making sure that they're shareholders of the company.
This is the catalyst people are saying.
Talked about as much in your community. We actually have a requirement that our executives must hold a certain amount of stock.
Really? I didn't know that.
And I forget what the number is for me. It's either 3 times my salary, or 4 times my salary, or 5 times my salary. It's a big number. Now, I'm way over that.
Right.
And in fact, not only have I been granted AMC stock, I think on 3 separate occasions I went into the market and bought AMC stock just because I thought it was a good value at the time.
One of us.
But I am one of you. But what this does is all the executives are granted stock and are required to hold some of that stuff. Force them to act and think as shareholders. And of course, is to incentivize our management team to want the share price to rise. And I keep on saying, rise responsibly, rise over time, rise the right way, no game playing, grow the earnings, grow the stacks of our company, capitalize on opportunities. And you know, when we talk about 100 different people in the organization are granted stock each year, this isn't just fat cats. This isn't just like 3 people at the top, or 5 people at the top, or 8 people at the top. It's 100 people deep. And this is people all across the United States and in Europe. And we want them to take their shoulders so that every week decision is what's in the best interest.
That's the equity incentive plan. You know, it's exactly as you said. It incentivizes the people to care about increasing value, so that you're not just going to work to go to work. You're going to work because you take pride in the stuff that you hold. And I think this is a great segue into kind of my first question that I have for the day. Talking about that value, so that you're not just going to work to go. Be important and a wasted opportunity. Not to talk about some of the previous jobs that you've held. So, do you think you can tell us about one of the companies that you have worked for, and some of the business adversities you had to overcome, the successes that it brought to the company that couldn't have happened without you?
Sure. I think a career is walking down a path, and everything you do now is a result of experience that you gather along the way. So I was a chief marketing officer of Hyatt Hotels. This is a long time ago.
I wasn't alive yet.
Parents might not even.
They were around, but not for long. Probably in elementary school.
So I was an expert in marketing. I was one of the creators of airline frequent flyer programs. I helped invent them when I was 28 years old. I was years old.
That's awesome.
And a few years later, I joined Hyatt as the chief marketing officer. Hyatt passport. Strong player. And the programmer. CMO of United Airlines. But that led to my being first CEO job when I was 13. In 1993. Had very little cash, a lot of debt, had a bad product, and a position in the industry. CEO of Carnival, right? I think sad that secret line. First of all, CEO. Tough challenge. I'm just saying, massive. And not only just that's still, yeah.
Roger. Harish, do you have any AMC things? Did you buy one?
I certainly.
Huh?
I don't know what it's gonna be.
Ah, make us $80 million, please. If this could just go to $50, I'd be happy.
The most profitable movie we've done in the world. On death's door in 90 days because the world have literally stopped. 12 of us thought.
Yeah.
And we would be locked in our homes and apartments for almost a year. Right. But that's what happened. He went from having $480 million a month of revenue to $0 a month of revenue overnight. Overnight. I say literally overnight. There are people who sometimes, oh, he means, it's for 12 months, 20 months.
Shut down all at once.
I think overnight.
Yeah.
Got 1,000 feet a week. And our revenues disappeared, and that put AMC
He's saying he wants to grow it over time.
in quite a precarious position.
Yeah, he has. I know. That's why. I know, but he can't say that. Like legally, he can't be like, "I want it to squeeze right now." He legally can't say that.
And there were 5 separate occasions between April of 2000.
And there's no way he could stop. He could stop what's happening to it. It's being shorted so badly.
Was within 6 to 12 weeks of
Cruise line raise.
I was used to staring death in the face. And
Well, no one knows that. That is the question that no one can answer.
April of 2020 and January 21. We raised about $2.8 billion of debt and equity. And we also had a lot of friends.
Nigga, I don't give two shits. Say some shit that you're gonna fucking eat a nigga's ass
We had a lot of allies.
or suck
And
tits
there
or
were so
some shit.
many constituencies rooting for AMC to succeed. Take our theater landlords. You know that our theater landlords deferred $450 million of contractually owed rent for 2020? And they have been working with us hand in glove to help us to survive this crisis. Our lenders, who we owe a lot of money to, again, our first lien holders, our second lien holders, they were with us. In one of our very sophisticated complex refinancing last July, we literally, with a stroke of a pen, wiped away $555 million of debt. It just disappeared. It just went away. Why? Because we knew what we were doing. Bowles and Company, our investment bankers, and Citibank.
You better make this squeeze all that. I'm not gonna diss him. You better make this shit squeeze, boy.
Riley, our investment bankers, they knew what they were doing, and we all rallied around this company, and we were just going to be damned if AMC was going to fail. Which sort of takes me to your retail investors. This is another audience that has really rallied around AMC over the past year.
Oh, okay. He's getting into some hot stuff.
Sure, there are some people who are in it only for $1 and are only, or $10 is the case.
Yeah, right.
And are just looking at the share price and hoping it will rise and they'll make money from that. But I also know for a fact that a lot of our retail investors rallied around AMC not only because they hope to be a profitable investment, but because they actually have an affection and an allegiance to our company.
100% sentimental value.
And they want to see AMC thrive and survive.
Yes. AMC survive. We like that.
Enemies of AMC put us under and run us out. And I certainly share that view. Going back to my experience, I just want to mention one other thing, because it's so unusual, but also relevant to the challenge at AMC. I've been a very casual sports fan my whole life.
Right.
2011, one of my closest friends
Subbing your players.
NBA team in my hometown.
Everybody.
I grew up in Philadelphia, just a middle-class kid. I went to a big public high school with 975 kids in my graduating class.
Big public.
You said I went to Harvard College. 2 of us out of 975 got into Harvard. 2 out of 975.
Wow.
So I've been defying gravity for a long time. But one of my close friends bought the NBA team in my hometown. And there are like a dozen people in his ownership group. And he not only invited me to join the ownership group of the 76ers, he asked me to chuck everything else I was doing professionally and go move back to Philadelphia and take over the Sixers as CEO of my hometown team. I got to tell you, I've done more substantial things in my life. But the 76ers, who in my youth were very, popular,